liberty, and company. To condemn this act, I call for immediate release of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money we pay in charge. As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Okechukwu Edomko, a political analyst. Okechukwu, good morning.
Good morning, Lawrence.
And compliments of the season.
Same here, and good morning to my friend.
Finally, you came.
Of course, I will. No hiding place for me.
And thank you for coming. No hiding place for you. I thank God you know that. And I also have with me a regular on Open Conversation, Chris Oka, a political analyst. Good morning, Chris, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And compliments of the season as well.
Thank you.
And on to the story. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory in Nyesom Wike yesterday shed light on why Prince Uche Secondus was sacked as national chairman of the People's Democratic Party. He said, "I kicked him out for plotting to make his cousin, Tele Ikru, governor of Rivers State instead of Similaye Fubara." Recall that Secondus was removed as PDP national chairman in 2022 when Wike was governor of Rivers State. Although many aspirants from other zones competed for the PDP governorship slots, the former governor insisted that the slot should be zoned to the lowland area of the state from where Fubara hails from. Wike reflected on the succession battle during the end of the year Thanksgiving organized by the PDP stakeholders in Ahoda East and Ahoda West at Okpata Community, Ebeye Kingdom. The organizers included former Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Chibudum Muche, Chairman, River State PDP Elders Council, Chief Ferdinand Alabraba, members of House of Representatives, Solomon Bob and Victor Obuzo, and member of the House of Assembly, Dame Queen Williams. Others are a former Ahoda West local government chairman, Hope Ikriko, former chairman of Ahoda East, Benjamin Etley, and the PDP chairman, Ahoda East, Charles Luke. Ebeye stakeholders, including members of the PDP, the All Progressive Congress, Wikematic students, non-indigenous, women and children also witnessed the service. The minister rejected out as PDP national chairman because he hatched to make Ikru governor. Wike, who rejected Omehia's remark that he has not attracted any development to Rivers as minister, said that the PDP chieftain lacked the understanding of the functions of an FCT minister. He said the FCT minister has territorial jurisdiction and cannot attract infrastructural projects like roads and schools to his home state. However, we can recall that when he served as the Minister of State for Education, he attracted many projects to Rivers State, including the Faculty of Law to Rivers University and grants to higher institutions in the state. Wike also said no governor has attracted more appointments to his state than him in the administration of President Bola Tinubu. Wike queried characters of people occupying traditional stools in Ebeye land, saying they lacked integrity. He recalled that during his tenure, he took it upon himself to elevate traditional stools in Ebeye to first-class positions, adding that prior to his government, no Ebeye monarch enjoyed such privilege. He said the monarch's recent pronouncement that they had endorsed Fubara for a second term was dead on arrival because they lacked the capacity to actualize such mission. Wike praised Uche, other PDP leaders and members of the House of Assembly in his camp, saying they had stood firm despite the challenges foisted on them by the same government they worked tirelessly to enthrone. The chairman of the occasion, Chief Ferdinand Alabraba, said the organizers were simply showing gratitude to their political leader, who as a governor impacted positively on Rivers State. Stressing that Wike is the most talked about minister, he said, some said he is controversial, but the president himself said Wike is a good man and a performing minister. I joined the president to doff my hat. In their goodwill messages, members of the House of Representatives and House of Assembly said they were prepared for the battle ahead. Let me take that sentence again. Said they were prepared for the battle ahead. I've never done that before on my show, repeating a sentence twice, but I think I had to repeat this. Battle ahead. But let me start with you, Okechukwu Edempo. What do you make of the story?
First, I think from what the Honorable Minister said, these are verifiable facts on ground, that as a Minister of States and of Education, he attracted so many projects to Rivers State. They are all on ground, they are on record, they are verifiable. Then also as a Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, his hands are tied. Why I say his hands are tied? He cannot use what is meant for Abuja to come and develop Rivers State. The best he could do in the light of the foregoing is to see how Rivers sons and daughters will get juicy appointment. And I also believe that he has not failed in that line. He has done very well. Then for the last statement, said the assembly members said they are prepared for the battle ahead. That sentence is quite, well, I say it's something that needs more elaboration for them to tell us what kind of battle.
House of Representatives and House of Assembly.
Say they are prepared for the battle. So they also need to inform us what kind of battle that is coming, so that we can also see how we can know in a situation where we don't get caught with stray bullets.
Interesting. However, you now said that some of the statements he made, that they are verifiable.
They are verifiable.
Now, he talked about kicking out Uche Secondus for attempting or for plotting to bring in Ikuru as his cousin as the governor of Rivers State against Fubara, his anointed.
Yes. Secondus, everybody knows he has a special love for his cousin, Ikuru. Whatever Ikuru is today is a product of Secondus. Secondus has been very open to his cousin. He has carried him from a commissioner up to a deputy governor. And those of us who are in Rivers State between 2007, when we had that governorship election in 2007, we saw how Ikuru emerged as running mate from even Austin Opara down to Omehia, and he was also hoisted on Amechi when Amechi came back as the governor of Rivers State. So if the minister says he had that report, or he had that Secondus wants to make his brother the governorship candidate of Rivers State, being the party chairman at the national level, he can do it. He has that influence because it is his list that will fly to INEC. So the governor which we have today is a product of the high-handedness of the minister. I make bold to say it, because if he wasn't high-handed, Fubara wasn't the most popular candidate. He wasn't a politician.
People said he was relatively unknown.
He was relatively unknown. But I won't use that word, relatively unknown. For those of us who are in the government circle, we know him. And for those that are also in politics, they know him to an extent. But to the masses and the uninformed and uneducated voters,
when you say the government, the politicians, they are in the grand scheme of things. When you're looking at numerology, they are very small,
microscopic few. That is microscopic.
And then even in civil service, just thousands against the millions of Rivers people.
That's what I said.
One would say he was relatively unknown because technically a lot of people heard that name for the first time during the campaign period.
Yes.
That's a fact in Rivers State.
something that
and a
cannot be
lot of
thrown away.
persons did not even know him. And during the campaign, I recall that the present governor wasn't even campaigning. Like, he wasn't really speaking on campaigns and all of that. So when the campaigns were going on, you're trying to, like, okay, who is the Fubara? Where is he? What is he saying? You're trying to hear him. I think the only time I could recall he said something was when he pledged that he was going to continue with the projects of the minister, and which he has done as
So
well.
far, so
Nobody you can't fault that. Fubara, with respect to continuity of projects, nobody can fault him.
He has done that.
Go ahead.
He has done that. So for him saying that Secondus was kicked out because of that, it's okay by him. Why I say it's okay for him? Politics is a game of interest, personal interest, even before the group and collective interest. So Secondus today, these are people who did not even support the governor. Today they are his best friends. Today they are the people hobnobbing with him. Today they are the people whining and dining with him. That's politics for you. They say your best friend today can be your worst enemy tomorrow, and your worst enemy today can be your best friend tomorrow. So it is what it is.
We'll still come back to that. Just hold on to that part. We'll still come back to the dynamics around what the FCT minister said about the people who were against the governor. Now they are his closest people whining and dining with him. We'll look at the implication of that relationship in River State crisis. But let me come to you, Chris. What do you make of this story? You can also delve into this if you will.
Well, the last statement, is it
on the people who the FCT minister said the people who worked against the governor are now the closest persons to him right now.
Okay, like my brother said, this is politics. In politics, there is no permanent enemy. What the FCT minister said is verifiable, is the truth. That is the exact thing that happened before the general election. Some persons were opposed to the candidacy of Fubara, and what we are seeing now is that this same person who never supported Fubara are those around him. But it's politics. That is the beauty of the game. Like I said, there is no permanent enemy. Your worst enemy can be your best friend. So the FCT minister made it very clear that the issue he had with Secondus is as a result of Secondus not supporting the ambition or the support.
Not supporting his candidate.
The FCT minister's candidate, which is Similaye Fubara. That's why both of them had issues, and Secondus was pushed out as the PDP national chairman. Like my brother said, we all know how that Secondus, his preferred candidate was Tele Ekuru, his cousin, which he has carried along all throughout in the politics of River State. But the FCT minister, the former governor then, did not buy into that vision. Instead, went for similar Fubara. But today, there are those around Fubara. But that's politics. And now the other statement the assembly members made, that they are prepared for the war ahead. The FCT minister have also said that those who are endorsing the governor for the second time do not have the capacity to...
When he was talking about the monarchs of Epaya Kingdom.
Yeah, who endorsed Fubara for second time do not have what it takes to accomplish that mission. It's clear. Because in River State...
Why do you say it's clear?
But in River State, votes hardly count. That is the truth. We must tell ourselves the truth. It is the political bigwigs that decide. The FCT minister just said it. He single-handedly brought Fubara. So if somebody can single-handedly bring in a candidate to emerge as the candidate of a party, it's also possible. It's a pointer that one man can also make somebody governor through INEC, like in a general election. So that's what the man is saying. That you do not have the power to accomplish what you are. You are just, it's a ceremonial thing that you're doing. You do not have the power to decide who becomes the governor of the state. The FCT ministers understand the politics of River State. But like I said, my brother said, the assembly needs to tell us I don't want to preempt anything.
The House of Rep and House of Assembly.
No,
go ahead.
Let me not preempt, because a lot are being expected in the coming days in the state. So, but let's just fold our hands and.
You cannot fold your hands. You cannot fold your hands, because I mean that statement, it's as if drums of war.
Yes.
It's being played right now.
And obviously, the FCT minister is not happy. It's not a small job for you to sponsor somebody through a primary election and ensure that that person emerges in the general election. And after all that, you are pushed to the corner for other persons who never supported that same candidate. Now they are whining and dining with him. The man who made the thing possible is nowhere to be found in the government. So the FCT minister is also strategizing. Don't forget, the House of Assembly, led by Martin Samahule, has initially issued an impeachment notice. And that issue and all of that.
Which was later withdrawn.
But all that has not been resolved. So there are a lot of things that in the coming days that we're expected to see in this state.
We'll still come to that which you do not want to talk about. You can trust me on that. But before we get to that point, my interest now majorly is in that statement that those who worked, against the emergence of the governor are now the persons who are dining and whining with him. I want us to delve a little bit into the dynamics of this seeming relationship, between the governor and the people who fought against his emergence. Now, a lot of persons, River State actually right now is divided, along lines of interest and camps. Now a lot of persons in the FCT ministers' camps are of the opinion that these the same persons who are whining and dining with the governor are misleading the governor, and probably this could explain from their own perspective why the governor could be making certain mistakes that one could say the governor is making. Now, for example, refusal to submit the 2024 budget even after the High Court and 2 Court of Appeal judgments have insisted that he should submit the budget. And now 2024 has literally come to an end. And in a few days, we'll enter 2025. 2024 budget has not been submitted. So now the question is, how is the governor going to operate the state without it? We are not discussing that, but we are looking at the intricacies of the governor's actions and inactions. And a lot of persons are basing some of the decisions that the governor has made that they consider that may be cataclysmic to his political interests. They are basing it on the people or the governor's, politically they call it the governor's handlers. What are the dynamics of this relationship?
First, I think as an individual, he has a right to appeal.
Which he has done.
He has done. But the matter is now at the Supreme Court level. It's still his constitutional right to appeal when a case is not favorable to you, a court of appeal. You get to the final arbiter, which is the Supreme Court. And after Supreme Court, you don't have anywhere to go. So it is still within his constitutional right. And nobody should deprive him of his right of appeal.
And while that is going on, the state is running without a budget in 2025.
The Constitution says, I think you can run a state within up to 3 months or so before you present.
Even that which you would touch, even that account that you would touch to run the state without a budget has to be approved.
Well, it has to be approved.
So how is he going to do that?
Well, this is River State. Been able to operate the whole of 2024 without. Let's see how far he will go. But for me, I believe that River State belongs to all of us.
No, you didn't answer the question, Okechukwu.
I answered.
No, I was asking you a question around the concerns that the handlers of the governor could be misleading him. Now, I am coming from a different perspective that based on what the FCT minister said, that these people in the first instance didn't want him to emerge as the governor. And if they are close to him, they are advising him on how to play this politics. Do you think that they are advising the governor are right? Or do you think that that original dissent and antagonism is playing out, but probably in a more diplomatic way?
For me, man by nature is selfish. Man by nature is guided by self-instincts. Man by nature, his decisions are based on rugged individualism. What me, myself, and I stand to gain at every given time. And I'm sure these persons that are around our governor, that is being played. Secondly, I also sense a case of political vendetta. When I say it's a case of political vendetta, that's what's playing in River State.
From which angle now? Political vendetta, I mean, apparently there appears to be a lot
Those
of vendettas.
who did not support the governor at the beginning, but because he has an estranged relationship with the FCT minister, yes. And these are perceived or imaginary enemies of the FCT minister. So it's normal by nature that your enemies will definitely align.
Your enemy's enemy is your friend.
No. As I am today, if I have an issue with you, Laurencia, and Oka, who used to be your friend before, has an issue with you, gravitate towards me.
Okay.
We've now formed an alliance to work against you. So that's what I sense.
But in forming that alliance, let's go with what you have said. However, in forming that alliance, which is unholy, if we might use that language,
of course,
that unholy of that alliance, and in the first instance, your interests never aligned. Now, in forming that seeming alliance to work against me, don't you think that there will also be a possibility that you are only a means to an end to get to me? And it could be, isn't it a case of using one stone to kill two birds, work against me, weaken my influence, and at the same time make you make mistakes that will still remove you? At the end of the day, that vacuum they wanted, so that they can still come back with their interests, will play out. Don't you think it's working out?
I don't. For me, what I have sensed in this Rivers crisis is pure case of vendetta. To say it, I say it without contradiction, I say it without fear, I say it unapologetically, that what's at play is a case of vendetta. These are people who never aligned with the minister in his quest to make the governor.
And who also have scores to settle, like which is second.
Of course, that's what they are doing now. They are just forming that alliance. And also the governor too, if you look at him, he will definitely accept them. Because the game of politics is game of numbers. You need that number. So he needs people around him. He will definitely accept them. But it's a case of vendetta at work. These are people who say they will not serve master and serve boy.
But now
today they are not just serving boy, they are waiting for boy on the road.
Now, hold on to that thought. Okay. Now, I want to continue building this conversation from the last statement that Okechukwu Edenkwo just made, that the people working closely with the governor are people who said they cannot serve master and then come and serve boy. But now, according to Edenkwo, they are not just serving the boy, but they are waiting for the boy on the road. Now, Chris, I will still ask you the same question I asked him. A lot of persons consider that, these handlers have been, I think you are also of that opinion. On my show, you have said that a lot of the mistakes, the governor seemingly may have made, could emanate from the handlers of the governor. You're one of the people that hold that opinion. Now, looking at what the FCT minister have said, would you say that these persons, even though, according to Okechukwu Edenkwo, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, is it what is playing out? Or is there more than meets the eye in this relationship between the governor and the so-called or seeming enemies of the FCT minister?
Well, I don't think they are advising the governor wrongly because they didn't want it from the beginning. And these persons, will I say they are happy that, oh, you did not support our choice. Now your choice is dealing with you. We will join your choice to deal with you. That's
for me, if I'm in the position of the governors, I will accept them.
Of course.
When they come to me, I will shut my doors to them. I will definitely accept them and work with them, because in politics you need the numbers. You cannot work in isolation. So if I'm in his shoes, I'll welcome them.
All right.
So it's normal in politics. Like he said, it's a game of number. You need more persons to either win an election or to win for second time. The governor, whether you like it or not, the governor is interested in coming back for a second time. He's also interested in maintaining his current position as the governor, because a lot of issues, threats of impeachment and other. So the governor is trying to accommodate more persons to help him fight the political fight.
Looking at this now, let's delve deeper a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, looking at what you have said, you and Okechukwu have said, these people, some you can even describe them as veterans in River State politics.
Yeah.
And they understand the undertones, the underplays, and all whatnot that is going on. And some of them, one would say, maybe strategic as well. The question I'm asking is, more than ever before, the governor is facing impeachment more than ever before. And this whole thing is hanging on the Supreme Court judgment. The outcome of that judgment will either make or break the executive and legislative arm of River State government. The truth is, from that Supreme Court judgment, either the executive will bear the consequences or the legislature will bear. There must be consequences following that. Now, but let's look at the governor, because we are discussing the governor today, not the River State. The 2024 budget that was not submitted, and from all indications it won't be submitted, and entering 2025 without a budget, understanding, bearing in mind that we are running a full cycle budget, and even the account that Demko said that he has to, he's empowered by law to make use of, has to be approved as well by the House of Assembly. Who is going to empower the governor to do all these things? When you're looking at it, even if the governor goes ahead to do it, each time he takes, as the day breaks, he's closer to gross misconduct than ever before. And the silence of the River State House of Assembly, it's loud. The silence is screaming a lot of things. And now, from this statement, they said the battle ahead, which means 2025 is going to be extremely interesting in River State political firmament. But one would ask, these handlers, these people who are veterans in politics, understands what is at stake. Will you support a man and then allow him to make certain mistakes that will cost him even that seat that you're fighting for? I need it to make sense to me.
I understand the area you're going, but I don't think that is the case in River State. Don't forget that those around the governor, the handlers of the governor, are not only those who did not support him. There are other supporters of the governors who are the chief of staff to the governor has been the supporter of the governor from the onset. So he does not fall into the category of this other person. So he has been also influential in the government of even the secretary to government of the federation. They are part of those who are advising the governor. So it's not just this. It's not just the likes of Uche Secondos and Omeya. So, but the issue here is that they feel that the FCT minister cannot do anything. That's just the truth. They feel that we know this man. He will not do anything. Let us stay with you. We will fight him and we will chase him out of Rivers politics. That's just what it's playing on. It's like my brother said, it's vendetta. They have accumulated grievances against the FCT minister. So this is the time to show that grievances. So they want to tell you, they are giving the governor the strong heart to say, he will do nothing. Let us, we are with you. We will fight him. We understand him. We know how. So that's the, but again, it's not just in same federal government that we come that this thing is up. If you look at the APC from the FCT minister, from what you read, in the PDP event, the APC chairman was present.
The APC River State.
APC River State was there. Don't also forget that the national chairman of APC came to Rivers State the other time, and he went to see the FCT minister, who is not a member of the party. So we are still a new.
That appears to be a new marriage.
Yes, in politics. It's the same thing in the same formula.
Interestingly, the APC chairman Rivers State, Tony Okocha, came out to say that, would I call him APC factional chairman because a court judgment has been moved in. So I will make reference to that court judgment. It's very important. When Tony Okocha was speaking, he said that the governor is partyless. You know, these are the issues. You understand? The governor is partyless. And then in this Thanksgiving service that was held, the APC Rivers State being represented by Tony Okocha, because that's the people that the national said they must work with, irrespective of the court judgment, was there. Now, PDP Rivers State, Chukwemeka Aaron,
they sat together.
Was there.
In the picture I saw.
That's the thing. The interesting times ahead. They were there. And now, when you're talking of APP right now, is also embattled, which is the party that the governor's is building his structure on right now. It's being embattled. They are facing possible deregistration by INEC because of a court case that has emanated that, according to the constitution, APP has failed, you know, to fulfill parts of the constitution that will make them a viable party in Nigeria. I mean, there are a lot of litigations, a lot of issues going on in Rivers State, and when they say it's a battle, but going by the statement of the House of Assembly, battle ahead.
Well, I have told you, let us not pray. Let's not go into all that.
I don't want to preempt.
Why are you scared of? Let's not go into all that. It is bound to happen. You know, that's the thing. I am not good at this rigmarole. The battle is there, a battle in 2025 in Rivers State.
Rivers State, for now, is like a keg of gunpowder waiting to explode. I will say it here, based on antecedents, events that are unfolding. But they should also let us know the kind of battle that is coming, so that some of us don't get caught
in the crossfire. All right, interesting. Finally, before we move on,
but again, there is another aspect that the FCT minister said, because he also took on the will I say former governor.
He was removed by the court,
so
you cannot call him former governor.
But at the time he was recognized, and the other time they recognized another. River State is just.
Okay, my brother, see, I will tell you.
The court judgment says he is not known to law.
But the FCT minister at the point, and after a while, and he was recognized another.
For God to use the instrumentality of the people to make you that for one man to make you. If a man makes you, there's also that tendency that that same man too would want to bring you down. So that's the case of Celestine Omeya. One man climbed chair in government house and hung his picture. When they fell out,
and also climbed the same chair to remove him. So,
but all other governors that the people made, their pictures are still.
But the area I'm saying is the FCT minister said he has jurisdiction, that we should not expect him to use resources meant for FCT to develop. I think that's where I want to comment. The FCT, of course, the minister, you attend Federal Executive Council meeting. He did well when he was the Minister for Education. He attracted some projects. He has also done well under Tinubu's administration to ensure that he's so align with the Minister for Works, Minister for Education, and to say, oh, this is what my state need. Please capture it in your budget and all that. So that's the area I want to call on him. It's an appeal, because in Rivers State we need a whole lot.
To go to the appointees of the federal government,
the
who have been appointed,
the FCT minister is the leader of the Renew Hope in River State. Every other appointee under the administration of
can they also bring their influence? That's the question.
Yes, that's it.
So probably that appeal should go.
I think
not
let
just
me
the FCT
correct
minister,
one impression. The FCT minister is not the leader of the Renewed Hope. He's a PDP member, don't forget, who is serving in Tinubu's government. He also took permission from the party, beginning from the ward, local government, state and national, before going to serve.
No, but I don't think
that doesn't make him a leader of the Renewed
Hope.
No.
When we say Renewed Hope, I think I need to
clarify that.
Renew Hope in River State. I'm also a member of the Renewed Hope. We have the.
You are a member of the Renewed. What is the movement about?
We have that's what I'm trying to explain. Under the Renewed Hope, we have APC members, and we also have those who are working under President Tinubu. So when we say Renewed Hope, they are not members of APC.
Okay.
Yes, the Renewed Hope is a family of those who are supporting Bola Tinubu, and Wike is the leader of that.
Now I understand.
Yeah, so
that's why the Rainbow Coalition also.
Rainbow Coalition, yes. So
okay, you are a member.
All right, gentlemen.
Okay, at least thank God you have informed me.
Yes. So he is the leader. He is not a member of APC. He is only leading the Renewed Hope family. That's it. He is not in the APC. He is not a member of the APC. He has said that publicly. He is in PDP. He is still in the same party with the governor of the state. So, but when it comes to the Renewed Hope family, which is non-political, he is the leader.
Okay.
Right. Very well. You still want to say something?
No, when you talk about capturing things in the budget or attracting federal presence, first you should know that every government, they have budgets. Some of the projects that are meant to come to River State, the first question we should ask, are they captured in the budget? If they are captured in the budget, that's when they start discussing. But if it's not captured in the budget, we need to start seeing how projects from River State can also be captured in the federal. But not to talk about it, you see the East-West Road too is something that for me, it has become more of a moribund project or a trans-generational project, which for me, I believe it should be completed. The Bonny or the Border Bonny Road is one road that once the federal government completes it, I think they have done very well for River State because it's also opening that axis.
Very well. And then on to Edo State. In a move appearing to dare the Edo governor, Monday Obeblo, and the State House of Assembly, members of the Oredo government's legislative arm have pledged their loyalty and support to the embattled council chairman, Dr. Tom Obaseki. The 12 legislative members of the council who made their pledges while paying Christmas visit to Obaseki vowed to support the council's commitments towards the people. Recall the legislative members in solidarity on Wednesday, December 25, 2024, joined Dr. Obaseki in sharing the gleeful grooving highlighting harmony and unison. It will be recalled that Dr. Obaseki and Vice Chairman Patricia Obogo Ero democratically elected more than a year ago in a 3-year tenure system. However, the House of Assembly will go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea. Economic stability and
to condemn this act and call for the release of this Mr.
I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
what Nigerians believe now is not about who can come and salvage us from where we are.
Members of the All-Radio government legislative arm have pledged their loyalty and support to the embattled council chairman, Dr. Tom Obaseki. The 12 legislative members of the council who made their pledges while paying Christmas visit to Obaseki vowed to support the council's commitment towards the people. Recall that the legislative members in solidarity on Wednesday, December 25, 2024, joined Dr. Obaseki in sharing gleeful, grooving, highlighting harmony and unison. It will be recalled that Dr. Obaseki and Vice Chairman Honorable Patricia Ohogo Ero were democratically elected more than a year ago in a 3-year tenure system. However, the State House of Assembly, through a complaint from Governor Monday Okpebholo, suspended the 18th council chairman in Edo for 2 months. The development, no doubt, has continued to generate reactions from members of the public who berated the governor for the suspension order. The Supreme Court judgment in Abuja, recently bolstered by a subsequent Edo State High Court ruling in Benin, has unequivocally validated the mandate of the 18th council chairman. These judgments categorically restrained the executive and state legislative arms from interfering in the affairs of the local government councils in the country, thereby safeguarding democratic principles and upholding the rule of law. However, in a show of unwavering solidarity, 12 councillors led by Right Honourable Harrison Izeko, alongside the Vice Chairman, Honourable Patricia Ero, reaffirmed their loyalty to their chairman. Their actions defiled any alleged intimidation from the state executive and legislature, as they praised Obaseki for his visionary leadership in the area, whose compassionate governance, according to them, prioritized human well-being above all in the council area. In a related development, councillors of Etsako East local government area of Edo State have dismissed rumors of an alleged impeachment plot against their chairman, Honorable Benedicta Ato. Led by the leader of the House, Honorable Solomon Ohuma, the 10 councillors declared that no amount of intimidation or enticement would persuade them to turn against their chairman, who they described as caring and compassionate. Chris Oka, what do you make of the story?
Well, the crisis in Edo State is expected, because in Nigeria, the type of politics we play, we tend to be more committed to political party affiliation than serving the people. In Edo, the governor is of the APC, and the local government chairman is of the PDP. So the governor wants to, of course, during the election, the council chairman did not support the governor. So it's a payback time to ensure that those who did not support him are strangled, police strangled, to ensure.
The local government chairman are PDP. They are the opposition party in the state.
No, the governor just came on board. The local government chairman did not support the governor.
But they paid him a solidarity visit.
Irrespective of that,
solidarity visit that gave rise to this issue now.
The point is that they never supported the governor during his election.
Yes.
So they supported their own candidate. And now the governor wants to ensure that his supporters, those who supported them at the local government area, also get to the local government, control the local government. That's what is happening. But because of the recent Supreme Court judgment that said that give some kinds of autonomy, not full autonomy to the local government. That's why it is becoming impossible for the governor to get rid of the local government chairman. And that's why the court said, oh, do not tamper the tenure of these people. But it's expected the crisis will continue. I just pray that it does not affect development in Edo State. Now the Council of Paying Solidarity visit, but it does not, for me, I don't see all that are just normal Christmas or will I say political fanfare. The position is very clear that the assembly has some, the constitution gives the assembly the power to legislate for the local government. That is the way it is today. Until the National Assembly.
The councillors also legislate.
No, the councillor don't. See, there is a very big difference in what the councillor did. The assembly has power over the local government. The councillors only have right to make bylaws at the local government level.
Can the councillors impeach local government?
They can impeach and will be ratified by the assembly.
Can you see? Can the councillors also call for, first of all, who does the local government chairman pass their budget to?
See, it is not the same case.
No, hold on.
If you look
at
the
State House of Assembly,
see,
or the legislative arm of local governments?
See, we're looking at the law. If you look at what we have at the state level, the assembly has the power to impeach the governor. They pass the budget for the governor. But the local government level is a different ballgame. The councillors have power to remove the chairman. And that will be ratified by the assembly. So you see, in the assembly, in the case of the state, there's no ratification. But in this case of the councillors, the assembly will have to ratify. Now the assembly, the councillors will pass the budget for the council chairman. That's the provision of the law. Now the assembly also, the constitution gave the assembly the power to make law also for the local government. Don't forget the case of River State, where the assembly extended the tenure of the local government chairman, and they went to court and all that. So, but
they got overturned it.
Overturned the
tenure elongation.
Well, I don't have.
On the ground that they said that the River State House of Assembly were trying to arrogate executive powers to themselves.
No, but that's the position of the law, that the assembly legislates for the local government.
Because the Supreme Court, yes.
So, but
that is the position of the law. However, it is expected that the laws being passed or being promulgated by the state houses of assembly must be in line and consistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
But the point we are making here is that the assembly has the constitutional power to make laws for the assembly, for the local government, and they also have the power to suspend the
powers, the law? Because in Edo State they were quoting, I think that is Edo State Local Government Law number 2.
Yeah.
Edo State Local Government Law number 2. Now, does that law, let me ask you a direct question, is it consistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
But
can you suspend an elected official?
If you look at, sorry, I do not have the section of the Constitution, because I was at the local government level. I was once elected as a councillor, so I understand the.
Let's get this clarification.
Yeah.
What the law did is to give powers to the state houses of assembly to make laws for local government councils, while the legislative arm of local government councils make bylaws for the day-to-day running of the councils, as well as having the powers to, pass appropriation bill of the local government, and also powers to impeach and probe local government chairmen.
At this point,
no, hold on, you have to say. The State House of Assembly, that is not their prerogative. It's the prerogative of the legislative arm of the councillors, of the local government. However, you're talking about the states having the power to make law. Granted. But the question is, the laws being passed by some of these state houses of assembly to regulate or control the local government councils, are this law in tandem with the constitution of Nigeria? That's why I asked you a question.
I understand.
Edo State made a law.
I understand.
They can suspend. Even if State House also has a law like that.
The only way out, which so many persons have advocated for, is for full autonomy of the local government. When the law said you have power to make law for me, there is no restriction.
Probably because in this instance it has not been challenged.
Well, but the law has said you have power to make law, and the law did not say you have power to make law that looks like there is no restriction to that. You have power to make law. So the assembly has power to make law for the local government. That's why some of us have said the local government should be given full autonomy.
In the grand scheme of things, which law has superiority in the country?
It's the constitution. The same constitution gave these people power to make law for the local government.
I don't understand what I'm saying.
For me.
Go ahead, okay.
For me.
I'll still come back to you, Chris.
Yes. The State House of Assemblies, they have this supervisory function and oversight. Supervisory role and oversight role over councils. That's why even if councillors take certain decisions, like that has to do with impeachment, the State House of Assembly still needs to ratify. Otherwise, it's null and void. So that's how it is. It's more like a checks and balance thing, so that nobody oversteps their bound. But what these councillors did for me, it was more like a political razzmatazz, where they went to see their principal being the council chairman, who is embattled, as a sign of solidarity, which is not out of place. The 12 councillors showing that they are all intact. Then the law also and the Supreme Court judgment who gave local government that some level of autonomy, especially financial autonomy. For me, that's what is backing the local government chairman. But if I were the governor, what I would have done is to see how I can find my way around them. You don't start the battles, or you don't start your battles too early. You choose your battles wisely. There's a way he would have gone about it. Some local government chairman in broad daylight to defect APC.
Or let's just say the governor, because now a lot of persons are accusing Opebelo of political witch hunts, right? Let's just say probably the governor has cause to settle. One would expect that, like another local government, Esako East, I think, came out to say that, to debunk rumors of they are plotting to impeach the local government chairman. It means that you can't take away the powers these councillors wield, unless we would say that probably in Nigeria political system, most of these councillors do not even know their rights as enshrined by the constitution, and they don't even know what to do. I mean, this you see councillors that are not even educated. Councillors that were giving some of the councillors their positions, or their attainment of that position was merely compensatory, not that it is due them in the real sense of the word. So to a large extent, they may not be able to even know that. Because let me give you an instance. If I were a councillor in Edo State, probably I would rally around my other councillors. That's if I want my chairman to continue to take the matter to court for overreach. Because in the first instance, you understand, the councillors can actually, that was why I said, was the governor playing a smart one? Why not go through these councillors to call for a probe into that section? Like you people always say, the politicians, the voice is the voice of Jacob, hand is the hand of Esau. Why can't the governor let it play like that, being on the safe side? You understand? Interestingly, the Edo State House of Assembly that actually did the beating of the governor is PDP dominated. The speaker is Edo State. Is a PDP man. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So why not play the smart one by going through, recognizing that these councillors have constitutional powers to do some things. You understand what I mean?
That's part of the problem we have in Nigeria, where they infringe on other people's rights, either knowingly or, in fact, this is more of a knowing case. You know that these people, they have some level of autonomy. But for me, I also strongly believe that we should have a unified local government system where we no longer have state electoral, independent electoral. In fact, they are not even independent. We just call them state electoral commission.
You prefer INEC
to conduct local government elections. There you see people across party
lines. And the governors cannot influence the outcome. Everybody should come and test their popularity.
Come and test your popularity. And that way you see popular candidates becoming councillors. You see popular candidates becoming local government chair. Because now the power now resides on the people. I remember in 1998 when we had a local government election conducted by INEC. In some local governments, you see councillors emerging from other parties. It wasn't this wholesale or sellout where they just sit down somewhere.
But don't you think, to a large extent, if that happens, the local government elections will be like the most democratic elections, because they are closer to the people. Like, people know you when you were small because you grew up in that local government. You went, for some people, they went to school in that local government. They speak the language. They are their fathers, their mothers, their kindred, their kinsmen, you know. So to a large extent, people in that kind of setting, don't you think people will be more comfortable to come out, vote, and defend their votes and stand by their votes? Because this time around, that is my brother, that is my cousin, that is my fourth cousin, and all of that. You see that playing out even more. Do you see that kind of democracy playing out in local government elections if, you know, the government decides to do the path that you're suggesting?
It will be the best thing that will happen to local government administration, because we will now have people-oriented leaders at the grassroots. We will no longer have leaders that were handpicked. We will no longer have leaders who have lost touch with the grassroots, or who are not even conversant with the realities on ground in their area, supposedly area. If elections, local government election, is conducted by INEC, it will be the best thing that will happen to us. And I pray it happens so that we'll have a unified local government system. Local governments will no longer become an appendage of the governor. It will no longer be used as a tool to witch hunt perceived or imaginary enemies. It will not be across all lines, and that's the beauty of democracy.
And to a large extent, now that's on one hand emergence, but we are looking at we are looking at post elections now, governance itself, the overwhelming influence the governors still have on local government. It appears in those states. We are using those states as a locus classicus in this instance. The governor appears not to pay heed to the Supreme Court's judgment. And even the AGF, Fabemi, came out to condemn the actions of the National Assembly. And Fred Etoa, interestingly, said that the Constitution recognizes 2 tiers of government. Please, I need to be educated on this, because that was what the spokesperson to the governor of Edo State, Monde Obeblo, said. Fred Etoa, I'm repeating his name again, Fred Etoa said that the Constitution recognizes 2 tiers of government, and that is the federal and the state. And in further defending what he said that the State House of Assembly, you know, just like the State House of Assembly has oversight functions on the governor has oversight functions on the local government councils. I need that to make sense to me. At what point did Nigeria start operating 2 tiers of government?
I'm hearing it for the first time.
Yes, Fred Etoa said that.
Coming from somebody like...
He was saying it to defend the actions of the governor and Edo State House of Assembly.
When people are no longer objective in their line of argument, when they are guided by selfish or personal interests, people tend to capitulate and they say things that are not really verifiable. The Constitution of the country recognizes the 3 tiers of government. I did government in secondary school. Who will know the tiers of government?
Who didn't?
So if he says that the Constitution recognizes only 2 tiers of government,
yes,
I think in fact at this point I'm bewildered, and I don't even know what to. I don't know what to say when people now twist the law.
Well, if the spokesperson of the governor is saying that, I assume the state government is saying that, because he was giving that interview as in the capacity of his spokesperson, as the governor's spokesperson. And you know the import of such interview. And people are quoting him. That was what Fred Eto'o said.
Did he make reference to the Constitution?
I just said what he said. He said that that the Nigerian Constitution recognizes only
Which section of
tiers.
the Constitution?
Well, I think you should be asking Fred that question. He said the Nigerian Constitution recognizes only 2 tiers of government. Now, does that inform, to a large extent, the actions being taken by Edo State Governor and Edo State House of Assembly? Recall that there has been a State High Court, Edo State High Court judgment that said this council chairman should go on with their constitutional responsibilities. However, Edo State government and the Edo State House of Assembly have insisted, particularly the Edo State government, that they will not continue. Now, the question would be, these Supreme Court judgments, have they started implementing the financial autonomy in full? Or is it still JAC that is still operational?
Well,
because I want to understand where the confidence of the Edo State government is coming from, ignoring these people and going ahead with another set of people.
That's one question that needs serious answers, because the last time I heard the supervising Minister of Finance, he was making some statement that local government chairmen, once they collect these funds, they are also answerable to EFCC, that if you spend the money, you go to jail if you spend the money wrongly. So I believe that they're on the verge of implementing it.
That's the problem. On the verge.
Yes.
After Supreme Court gave judgment that said to be implemented with immediate
No,
effect.
you know what happened?
And the government said they are giving a moratorium of 3 months.
3 months, yes.
This judgment came in July.
Yeah. You know, the Attorney General and I think Attorney General and Minister for Finance and the governors met. And one of the things they considered that it is not right to give allocation to caretaker committee, because so many states were running caretaker committee. So they agreed that let's have more time to enable us conduct local government elections, so that if we are implementing this, it should be to the democratically elected local government chairman. The fund shouldn't go to caretaker committee, and that's why that 3 months time frame was given. But I don't know how many states have complied as in conducting local government election. I don't have the record.
A lot of states have done that.
Yes, too.
I don't. 3 months window.
Yes, for them to
so many states,
conduct
to a large
election.
extent, the more I know,
what I don't know now is if there is direct funding from the revenue allocation to the local government chairman. Although the governors are very reluctant about it, because they feel that they want to detach the local government from them, because you know the governors have overbearing influence of the LG, but they were not happy even after the Supreme Court judgment. But I think if funds are being received directly, if the governors, the local government chairman have started receiving funds directly from federal government, then that's the confidence of the chairman in Edo. If the money has to pass through the government, then I'm sure the state government will have to.
If I were the governor, I wouldn't embark on this.
But then he has started, hasn't he?
And he's also starting on the wrong footing.
Oh, is it a case of bringing in anti-infested firewood?
Of course, what he's doing now is just throttling with the wrong pedal or the wrong foot. So for me,
you should have stabilized first.
Just stabilize. Let them run seamlessly. See how you can play with them. Let there be that handshake across board. That's the beauty of democracy. After election, we leave politicking and go into pure governance. But here, we play politics beginning from before election, during election, after election, thereby even abandoning governance.
You know, the Nigerian political system, what we have seen is winner takes it all. So the governor wants to ensure that, like I said earlier, those local government chairmen did not support the governor. So now, the governor wants to push them away and bring his own supporters.
The question would be,
that's the kind of politics.
Edo State House of Assembly that is predominantly PDP, Did they support the governor?
But he say now.
Did they support
they did not.
So,
in the case of the governor, because he does not have the power to remove them, that's why he will have to wait till another general election for him to support his own candidate.
With the speed, I mean,
this is Nigeria. This is the kind of politics.
Because with the speed with which the Edo State House of Assembly, even fair hearing were not given to this local government chairman. They were not even, and you recall that particular plenary ended in a rowdy session, because it wasn't like all the members of Edo State House of Assembly. I think about 6 or 8 of them were dissenting, while 3, did not vote for or against. But the majority, of course, minority will have their say. Majority
Edo
will
has
have their
23 state constituencies.
Yes.
So that means 14 voted for it.
Yes.
6 against it, and 3 abstained.
Exactly. Now, when you look at it critically, the people that were against it, they were advising the speaker. They said, I think it was even the deputy speaker that was advising the speaker and said, this is too hasty. Why don't you call this local government chairman for fair hearing? Hear from them before that decision is made. So it was a situation where the letter was brought, they read the letter and then took their decision, and then it is what it is.
The Piper dictates.
Now the question is, it is a PDP dominated.
No. I think why the governor
suspending PDP local government chairman.
See, I think why the governor has not taken the fight to the assembly is because the speaker is working with the governor. So if you look very well into Edo House of Assembly, you notice some of the assembly members will just remain as ceremonial members. Once the speaker takes decision, or whether they agree or not, the governor will go ahead and implement. So that's in Nigeria, the type of politics we play is just something else. Once the governor catches the speaker to be on his side,
it appears that is what has happened.
That is what has happened. That's why the deputy speaker is not in line with what they are doing. So once the speaker is with the governor, even during passage of budget, you will see what happened. Once the speaker say whether you are on high or not, the high we have always had it.
Even when the nays voice,
when
it's louder,
so that's all. Other members will just remain in the assembly doing nothing. If they get their salary to go be the glory. In some cases, it has happened here in River State. The assembly members don't get salary, where others get their salary and constituency projects. So they have to move on, because they want to show that you didn't support us, you supported your party, you have to pay for it. That's the kind of politics we play in Nigeria. So it's going to play out in Edo. If you check very well, you will see that that is the case in Edo.
I think we have interesting times ahead of us in Edo State politics and Rivers. I think these 2 states are the 2 states to watch out for in 2025, seriously. And then Kano State. Of course, I would have loved us to delve into Kano State, but we are out of time. A lot going on in Kano State is actually a state to watch out for from 2025 even up to 2027, because a lot of intrigues are playing out. But then we are out of time, and this is where we'll wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. Thank you so much, Okechukwu Edenko, for finally coming today.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Even if I was ambushed.
Were you ambushed?
I was ambushed.
You ambushed me.
You ambushed me. By talking, you know what I mean by I was ambushed.
I understand what you mean. It was Chris that ambushed you. It wasn't me, it was Chris. Chris, thank you for ambushing Edenko. Okay, Chukwu, it's a pleasure, and it's a pleasure having you today. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much, our viewers, for always staying connected to us. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials.